Okay, so I guess it's the time has come for installment part 2 of of Game Boy Color, now with correct screen. Um, so first things first, one of the things they always say, and it says even here on this, is please test this kit before installation. I've had a few of these that have been bad over the time. I've even got one down there that's bad on the side. It's just a real shame. I don't know why they don't do proper testing before shipping. Who knows? But given that we've got to test it before installation, I think we should have a look at a few things first. So, gonna need some wire. And once again, I'm sorry, I didn't fully prepare myself before clicking record, which is always the way. So I'm just looking for my wrapping wire, which is here. Pop that in. Oh, okay. Excellent. So orange. Let's get a nice run of orange. And I didn't even get any screwdrivers or anything out. It's a crying shame. Have I got a game to test with? Oh yeah, fully unprepared this time. Fully unprepared. I do think though, I've got Tetris over here. There we go. Game to test with. Fabulous. Okie dokie. So on these screens, you have to wire up power, which goes, I believe, to point C down here. I'll tell you what, down here, I'll tell you what I will do. Just for good measure, we'll make this a bit bigger. There we go. So yeah, power comes from point C for the LCD. So we'll put a wire onto that. And the instructions for this say pull, start, and select from down here. So this is the start button, point 12, and select button, point 12, and the start button over here, point 13. Now, see, the thing with putting a wire onto point 12 is that it then sits underneath the rubber, which I don't really like. So I think what I'm going to do is, in previous installs, I've traced out point 12 and 13 to up here. So I'm going to go on the start button, select button even, and the select button I believe comes up on this bottom one here. So you can hear my meter beeping. And the start button comes up a point above it, this one. So instead of running wires all the way up the board from down here, I'm going to run them from these two vias up here, this one and this one. So I think I'm going to need to change the iron tip because I've got a knife in. So let's get something a little smaller, like a C1 tip. I think just pull that out and get the iron heating up. And we will run a quick cable that's too long just to test the screen. Okay, so the iron's heating up at the second. Oh my god, how much? There's probably enough flux in there to finish off. If not, I've got one in the box somewhere. Maybe two in the box somewhere. Okay, so I think we're going to run a quick cable. So let's do that first. We are going to run power cable into the screen. So I'm going to run it way too long just for testing. And I'm also, I'll leave that for now. I can just solder on here, it's fine. Not so fine for that, but we'll do that on there like that. So cool. All right. So first things first, we're just gonna get some solder out. a few other bits out, and start getting to it. So first of all, we're going to tin up this C point with a little bit of new fresh solder. How hot's the iron? 350, which isn't enough for this tiny little nib. So we're going to go to 390 for our C1. And I'm sorry, I'm just trying to make sure I'm also keeping it visible up there. Wow, you really don't feel like you're heating up. We'll go bigger if we have to. Oh, a bit more. Just get a bit more heat into it instead. Give it a clean. Just make sure we're getting if not, we can always grab a bigger tip. Oh, there we are. There we are. Excellent. And for now, we're just going to tack a wire to it. We don't care on how it looks for the second. I mean, even though that looks really good. And right, so we're just going to pop that there. And we're going to grab our battery because we need to remember this board. And let's plug in our screen. Like that. And again, we're just going to pop a little bit on here, like that. Oh, I didn't show you. There we go. Popped a little bit of solder on that. And again, this because it's just for testing. We'll put a blob there, like so. We'll clean this up when we go properly. But we do need to test the screen so that we can send it back without any issues. Okay. So that's it, wired up enough to do some testing. I mean, it's not fully wired, obviously. And that looks pretty good. So I'll just pull this down for a second and pull that away. So this particular screen looks good. It's in like retro mode at the moment, but it's got like a clean mode and some other modes that you can put it in. So I think what we'll do is we'll get this screen installed into the chassis, and we'll start getting the rest of it wired up. So excellent. We'll pull this off for the moment. There we go. So that we can work on the screen. So let's pull this here and this here. You don't want to damage it putting it into the chassis either. So there's a little sticker on the back here. You just got to be real careful. There we go. Nice. And I'm actually going to take this off to make installation a bit easier. I'm going to put that down here where I need it. Excellent. There we go. Now we pop that in there, like that, and that down there. Just make sure fitment is good, which it is. Okay, now we take it out again. And we get ready for final fitting. So I'm going to need, where did I put them? Little pair of tweezers. I stabbed myself in the finger with them earlier. That was a lot of fun. They're really sharp. Got to do this without scratching it, obviously. You've got to be this LCD is so fragile as well. Just got to be super careful not to put any pressure on it. There we go. And now we're gonna just fit it up into there. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. And then we can take the film off once we've finished. So heading over to the back of it, back of the console, I'm going to start fitting our buttons up. So what we got? You might have seen in the comments, we ended up with a white start and select, which I said in the previous video, I'm not sure you can buy them. Turns out you can. And a quick beer as well. So we it's good. It's good. It's Saturday, why not? Where is our button kit? Oh, here it is. So we got all new buttons, which we're going to put in. Because I mean the board's all done now, so we're basically on the final fit up, and obviously LCD. Sometimes these buttons come with a bit of excess plastic. Just checking them as I'm putting them in. Nice. And let's put the new rubbers in. Nice. New rubber over here. And nice. As we get to the soldering and whatnot, we'll also get back under the microscope. But first, we want to fit this up. Now, I'm fairly sure that we haven't got any issues here, but they do provide like a little sticker to put over the back. So I don't normally fit the stickers on my own consoles if there's no contact in the components. But you know what? As I say, it's someone else's console, so let's do what we need to do. There we go. It's like a little sticky film, just sticks over everything, keeps everything good. There we go. Pop that into there, and we're starting to work towards a console here. Let's have a little look. Oh, it's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I can see the attraction. I can see the attraction. Let's get that all good, which we've done. Okay, next up, we're going to do some of the shell parts. How many of these are there? Two. So yeah, just got to work out the screws. Which ones are the longer screws? And which are the shorter ones? Because the 3 shorter screws go inside, which is those 3, and then the 6 longer ones on the outside. Okay, again, we've got to be pretty careful because we don't want to damage the screen at all when putting it back together. So we're just going to pop in the parts that we need. So pop these in. Because these shells are not pre-cut, it's often good to go out and in a few times. So you bring out some of the plastic as you're doing it, and it generally helps. There we go. Could probably go in a bit further with that one. Let's get a bigger screwdriver. There we go. It's much better, much nicer. There we go. Excellent. Must admit, I do quite like it. Wouldn't have been my normal first choice, actually. I go for random stuff. Quite like the, I've got a thing for blue consoles. And then I end up keeping ones that I shouldn't, like stupid Pokemon ones and stuff. But anyway, let's get this done. Okay. Nice. Let's have a look. Yeah, I like that. You know what I forgot to do though, don't you? Ball's got to come back out, people. But it's nice to get those holes sorted. We'll clean up these screws before we put them back in, because they've got a nice kind of plastic where we bored the holes out. So it's good to do it for the final build anyway. But let's get to work just running our 2 wires. Okay. So they provide black wires here, but again, we're not going to use those. We're going to use orange. Now, some people might say to determine which one's which, to use 2 different ones, but I kind of just want the orange feel. So that's what we're going with. All right. That should be enough, I think. Do that. So yeah, that's plenty. So if we look at our ribbon cable on our screen, which is over here, select is at the bottom, starts at the top. So all we're going to do is run one over to the left and run one over to the right, and then we'll know which one's which. Or at least that's the plan. But I do always forget. This is what we've got here. Okay. So let's get this here. And it's these 2 points here, which I'll point out. So it's this one here and this one here. And over the other side of the board, they go to like here and here. Oh. Over the other side of the board, they go to here and here. So we've got 2 options. And I think the option I'm going to go for is this one. I'm going to go this side of the board. Because why not? And effectively what we're going to do is, oh, didn't keep you on the screen. We're going to pop these 2 in, bend them down, spin the board over. Actually, we'll do that one first. That one seems to have sat quite nicely. That's the bottom one. I think this one didn't sit so nicely because we didn't leave a bit more wire, so we'll just leave a bit more wire. There we go. Cool. Oh, soldering iron saying error, error. What's the error for, buddy? Yeah, doesn't seem to be much of an error. I think we're good. I think we're good. So I think for this one, we're going to go with a little bit of flux. Yeah. And a little bit of beer in me. That's good. Right, and then we're just gonna. I'll get you in the art. I'm not showing you, am I? Not showing you much here. So it's this point we're working on, the bottom one. And not always the easiest to get it started. So might even have to. Come on. Come on, little fella. It's got some solder on it, but it's not looking too great. I'd rather more. Oh, that's looking a lot better. To my little eyes. Let's give that a quick clean up. And we'll see what we got. So you can see that looks pretty good, that joint. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. So let's just get rid of this excess. There we go. Come off. Yeah. All right. So that bottom one, what is it? Let's check. Get rid of that. Okay. So just with the multimeter again, listening out for a beep. So select. Are you select? Yeah. So the bottom one select, which is there's 0.6 ohms there. Pretty good. 0.6 ohms there as well. So and across my meter there's 0.4 ohms. Okay. So yeah, bottom select, top start. Okay. So this is the select one. And we got, you can see over this side of the board, hopefully, at an angle, not tons of solder through there, but enough, enough. It's not going anywhere. Could we do a bit more maybe? We'll decide in a minute. If you look, there's definitely solder gone through the hole. I think it's safe. Okay, same again, second one. So we're just going to pop it in, bend it down for the moment, bend it up. There we go. Oh, didn't quite go the way planned. So let's do that again. It's just I'd rather not run wires right the way up the board, if I can help it. There we go. Okay, so onto the second wire. Again, we're going to try and get some flux down and iron, not too hot, but decently hot. And let's try and get some solder in here. That's pretty nice. There you go. You can see now that I've taken a bit off the other one as well. Nice solder connection. And same for this one. So we'll just nab that off real quick. There we go. Nab off the excess. And give it a little bit of a clean up. Need a bit more. Nice. Okay, so there we have it. And over the other side of the board, that's what it looks like. A couple of wires coming out. And there we go. So we can now put the ball back in our case. We'll grab the case back over, back in the action. Oh, don't do that. There we go. Right, okay. I'm going to just bring this back down for a moment. Okay. Perfect. And is that the bigger screwdriver? Ooh. I've covered the big screwdriver in flux. Of course I did. Just run these through my finger to get rid of all the nastiness. Cool. Same with the last one. Just gonna give it a little, get all the plastic out of it. I normally just put my now in the groove and run it through, and then end up with plastic all over my hands. Excellent. Trying to remember which one start and select now. The left side, which is select, is the bottom. Okay. Select is bottom, other side is start. You've got to love it when the little buttons clip in. Okay. It's looking great, that. Nice. Okay. Okay, so what we need to do now is probably good for a bit of... We need to do our start and select. So that is what we're going to do next, and then we'll wire up the power. So first things first, we also need to push that down into there. Perfect. Okay, a little bit of that. Okay, there's our start. Oh, a select even, which is the bottom one. Start. Oof. Where's my... Just need to clean my iron real quick. Cool. That'll do. Why don't you want to go onto my pad? There we go. Fantastic. So let's move that one out of the way. And first things first, we are going to run our select. Now, we're actually going to run it just down here under these caps, and we're going to pull it up that cap there. So yeah, I think what we want to do is run it down here, through there, and maybe through this hole. If we can get it in there nice, let's put this down. There we go. Oh, it was nice. And then up beside the ribbon, we're going to go. We're going to go up beside the ribbon over here, and then in. Leave a little bit of excess, so we want to come, I think, about here. Yeah, that a little bit less, a little bit more even. Cool. Gonna just trim it. All right. So we're just going to pop this down here. So that's the next part. And then we'll almost be done on this one. Well, not too far away. I keep going off camera, don't I? I appreciate I'm not the best cameraman in the world. So we're just going to try and get this where it needs to be, which is kind of oh, nice. So that's our select button, and we will, once we've buttoned it up, we will run that exactly how we want it. And I'm thinking this one about yay big. Perfect. And again, we're just going to cut that off. Get our little tweezers. Get our start button wired up. Okay. So now we're talking. We can pop this where it needs to go. Let's go up to the top a bit. So yeah, we're now just popping in this ribbon connector. Pop in these little clamps down, which we've done. And we do need to run our power. Got a few options for power. And then we also need to run, we will sort these cables out. I know what you're thinking. There we go. But as we put it together, all of this will be good. Okay. So we're just going to kind of go over here with our power, I think. I do like to leave a little bit, just in case someone decides to take the screen out later. I don't want it too tight for them, for whatever reason. I do like a super clean build, but you know, when it's someone else's console as well, you've got to be mindful that if someone opens it up later, you do need a little bit of give in some of these cables just to make it work for another installer, just in case. We are going to need a bit of flux over here, because that was looking a bit rough, that joint. There we go. A little bit of that on there. Where's my little tweezers? Cool. That's lovely. That is lovely. Okay. Just going to remove this excess. Brilliant. And then we're going to route this one. Now we're just doing a little bit of cable routing. So that looks good. The second one again, I want to come down with both of them, kind of down here, over here. Nice. Okay. So the key with this, I think, is also that they don't get in the way of the cart slot. So, but they won't, because this little hook will keep them out of the way. So there we go. Now, finally, we've got to just pop our little touch sensor, which is standard with these screens. So I'm going to do that now. You can't see it, but you don't need to. If I can get the sticker off, there we go. Let's try and there we go. And there we have it. Got all of our cables wired up. Got coming out the vias, got the power wired up. We've got down here, we've got this, we've got our amp the other side of the board. So yeah, the next thing to do, pop a game in. And I think for this part, we're going to just, fantastic. Got our game popped in. And now we're going to pop the battery in. So we'll have to pop the battery into the battery case compartment, and got a little sticker for it somewhere. So that's going to look great. Oh, very loud. Forget how loud this Game Boy is. Oh, yeah, it looks nice. So, oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, double press. In fact, what we'll do is we'll take a game out so that we can show some stuff. So we know that the screen is looking real nice. The screen's looking real nice. I really like the build. I really like it. So at the moment, though, you can see we've got white lights under the screen. And let's be honest, white lights isn't going to cut it here. It's not acceptable. So we're going to take the game out, and we're going to fire the console back on, and hopefully you'll be able to see. So yeah, I'm on the Game Boy screen, and I want to change some stuff on the screen. So if we hit start and select together, we get a menu. Brightness, I think that is, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, so this is screen brightness, and you can go through the different brightness levels. Now, I can't remember. You have to excuse me while I remember how to do it all. So 8 is the highest brightness level. And do you tap to go to the... Oh no, that's brightness. Okay. I can't remember how to get to the next setting. Bear with me. I'm actually going to have to look it up. Okay, so I think I press those two together, and then Yeah, okay. Hold start to go to the next display option. Oh, there's that clean look there. That's the one I like. The really clean kind of display. You can change it. FRM. Don't know what that is, but let's turn it off and on. Cool. Oh, let's hold that, isn't it? What's this? Oh yeah, colors. So hopefully, let me try and hold it up to the camera. Blue, we don't want blue. We don't want grey. Don't want black. No, no. These are the pre-programmed colors. Well, there's an orange one right there. And that looks good. That does look good. And you can obviously edit the amount of color yourself. So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to leave it on that pre-programmed one because I think that looks really lovely. Now I'm going to turn it off. And let's finish the build. So we need the volume slider. So let's do that next. Not the volume slider. Come on, Vince. It's not the volume slider at all. It is the power button slider. Excellent. And let's just grab the back of the console off. And the next job is to put this in. So that's what we are going to do. Fab. So the first thing you do is you want to thread it through the bottom middle hole because you can go off to the side of the button that's there. So let's just make sure that that doesn't get caught either. There we go. And then click that in. Nice. And then we want to get our console lined up. We've missed something. Standard. We need the IR sensor, which goes. I always struggle getting this thing in every time. I should probably put it in the case beforehand. Oh, that was nice and easy. Okay, well, bonus. Okay, so we got. There we go. Oh, it's nice. It's nice. Now, our battery. But first, let's do the 2 case screws. So we need. What do we need here? We need the 3-prong. Oh, there's a nice 3-prong. A little bit of a bigger one. Let's start just making it look good. And I'm going to have to apologize, this camera doesn't like me. But I promise if I keep doing the videos, I will buy, and maybe in the new year, I will buy a real nice kind of camera to do it with. Because these webcams, these are, it's weird. I've got 2 Brio Stream 4Ks and obviously the microscope. And I thought they would be okay for this sort of stuff, but they're just not. They're not even close to good enough. I get it. So let's just get the final screws in. Do that. Now, Nice. I got one stiff switch. Real nice. Real nice. Okay. So we're just going to come down. We're going to bring it close to the camera and we're going to show you. I'm going to show you the whole build, but we need a finishing touch, don't we? We do need a finishing touch. We're missing a finishing touch. Now I'm going to grab it from this other case over here. I've got a different build because I don't know where it is for this one. So, but let's just finish this off. So we just measure this up, see how it looks in relation. Got about a mil and a half each side. These can be a nightmare to get right. Look, focus. Doesn't want to focus, does it? Why? Why do you hate me? Do you want to know what's funny as well? The repro sticker. It was originally a Japanese model, and that is the GPN-1 model. So the sticker is for the same Japanese model. Why not? And then we don't want to leave it without a serial number. So let's give it a serial number. Now, no. There we have it. Serial number on. Just need to give that a little bit of pressure, and we'll clean it up. There we go. Serial number. And there's our Game Boy alert. So let's have a game of Tetris. Maybe not a full game of Tetris, but let's have a little game of Tetris. How long have we been? So it's it's 48 minutes already, so we'll try and keep it. We've got to keep it under an hour, haven't we? Oh, we're looking nice. Let me just... I'm no Tetris master. Hopefully you can hear it. It's quite loud. On this version of Tetris, does the up button not do a fast drop? Because if it does, that button's not working, ladies and gents. Bear with me. Good, it doesn't. I thought I tested the buttons on a previous one. I think just to be smart, what we'll do is we'll pop a flash cart in real quick. Turn her on. Now, one of the big problems with modded Game Boy Colors with flash carts, as we all know, is that they draw more power. So, don't want it to crash. So yeah, up, down, clearly working. Looks good. Oh, I always forget what button's what though. C, load and start. Let's do this. Yeah, what do you think? All done. Oh, I've just held the button at the top for too long. It's fine. I've obviously loaded a game that takes ages. My flash cart's quite old as well. Takes long enough. Da, 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 da. Right, let's just I don't really know what I'm doing, but do 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 do. Game Boy Color can actually look pretty good, can't it? Just going through some of the different display settings, having a look. Yeah, 2's definitely my favourite. Oh, you long hold to close it. There we go. You need the big boy. Right, anyway, that's all I'm going to give it for today. But that is Game Boy Color Part 2. Hope you enjoyed the build.